Welcome to Long Beach, California, where Matthew Hart is on pole from Ahmed Cilia and Guillermo Perez. Akari Lopez starts fourth from Dominic Hudson and Kazuki Sims. Pretty good qualifying for the Japanese driver. Then it's Devin Butler, Chris Cornwell, Lam Fong, Kimi Nyla, and Ika World. That right there is your points leader. Christian Bentley, followed by the Trackhouses. In 15th place, it's Ray Shen, followed by Davi Circarara and Danny Ortega. Rondon Animates in 18th from Francis Austin, and last time out race winner, Mavius Antonio. Ponte, Zenzo, Alves, and Vancelau round out the 24. California, and a return to the United States for the 5th round of the ChampCar World Series. All 5 lights go on with Hart on pole. And the ChampCar Grand Prix of Long Beach is go, with a brilliant getaway there from Ahmed Cilia off the line, drawing level with the Scotsman who's now alongside him, and past the 78, taking the lead as they make it through turn number 1. Akari Lopez also with a pretty good start in front of the 2 Chip Ganassis, up into 3rd place for the season 15 Formula E champion, who now goes alongside and past Matthew Hart up into 2nd place at the most scenic location on the calendar. But for the first time this season, the Orange Conquest Racing team take the lead. That's Ahmed Cilia in front of Akari Lopez and Matthew Hart. On board we go with Chris Cornwell in 8th place. Not the greatest qualifying effort from him with the redesigned Hyperdrive Racing livery. And team as a whole, they've got a brand new outlook for the rest of the season as Perez making the launch to get past Dominic Hudson. Kimi Nyla doing a pretty good job up in 6th. Vancelau getting a time penalty. As you can see, the 77 getting pushed by the 96. Cornwell gets past him. Sims looking for the pass on Dominic Hudson as well. Sims 888 Racing looking pretty poor around this track in practice, but Kazuki pulling something out of the bag so far today. He's made his way up into 4th place past both of the target Chip Ganassis. Chris Cornwell currently running in 7th place. He's watching his teammate in his mirrors at the very least duel with the 71 of Devin Butler through the fastest part of any part of the calendar this season. On board we go with the 71. Blasting down this main straight. You're only actually full throttle for half of the lap. That half of the lap taking you from the entirety of Sector 3 to Turn 1. As Ika holding it side by side and getting up into 9th momentarily there. And with attack mode online, Hart needs to pick up the pace, and he just hasn't. Here comes the number 11 of Kazuki Sims Takahana to get himself up into the podium positions. The soft tires working out. The gambit seemingly working for Sims 888 TGR. Ahmed Cilia in the lead with the fastest opening sector. And now Kazuki on defense, dueling with Guillermo Perez. The duel seemingly over before it really could start, because now the Spaniard trying to defend from the 31 of Dominic Hudson. Coming through the uphill section here in California. It's been a while since we've been here in Long Beach. There's quite a bit of undulation despite us being by the seaside. On board with Dominic Hudson, losing a bit of time to his teammate, and we expect this race to really kick into high gear around lap 9. For the first few laps, it's probably going to be a lot about the strategy. You're not going to see too much passing because sectors 2 and 3 do not really allow for that, aside from some attack mode stuff, as there goes Kimi Nyla past Chris Cornwell, Hudson past Perez, Circarara and Kloske, as well as Ortega and Vancelau all come into the pits at the end of lap 2. So they're not very happy with their tires so far. 50% for Kazuki Sims, so we expect these softs to do about 4 laps. 5 if they're lucky. I have to say, the Sims racing car keeps growing on me. I think it's a very nice looking car, a very nice evolution on what they had for Formula E last season. Embracing their Toyota partnership quite a bit. And can we just touch on Kimi Nyla, by the way? He and the entirety of Forsyth Racing this season just look like a team changed. They've only really had one constant, Matthew Hart, as Remy LeBeau left for Formula E. So now, Nyla being at the team and doing a pretty solid job of all of the rookies this season, you'd have to say that Kimi Nyla has to be the quickest of them all. As you can see, Ica World looking for the pass on not just Lam Fong, but his teammate too, and he'll get it done. Up into 9th place in the Nord Hyperdrive car. He's dueling with his teammate. Side by side they go. And Cornwell gets the better of him, moves up in 7th into the pits there for one of the target Chip Ganassis. Matthew Hart takes the lead as Ahmed Cilia comes into the pits. This is only going to work out for the guys who are staying out right now if a caution comes out. And that's only really going to happen in a worst case scenario, and that almost happened. Matias Antonio got ever so close to Ahmed Cilia there. Just got avoided, thankfully. Everyone now hurtling down the main straight. You can see Davi Carrera and Danny Ortega, that right there. One of the track houses, that's Mario Klosket. The only man who's hurtling down the main straight right now is Dominic Vancelau, and he's on his own. 8 laps to go from Long Beach. Matthew Hart still leading the way, and leading it quite comfortably. Let's take a look at Guillermo Perez then. 19% tyres. Can't really do another lap. Thankfully, we don't expect anyone on the soft tyres to do another lap of racing. In fact, everyone out there likely with another stop to make on this next lap. The only man we expect to stay out is this guy, Francis Austin, because we don't expect Andretti to double stop. Even so, the mediums are good to the end of this stint if he decides to go to lap 5. So not bad work on the strategy side of things for all of these teams. Antonio Ponte and Matias Antonio, by the way, also all staying out. So here they come, down the main straight. In comes Matthew Hart. In comes, most likely, Guillermo Perez at 9%. Can really feel the roar as he comes down to pit lane. Devin Butler also coming in from 6th. So Ahmed Cilia will reclaim his race lead. Francis Austin up in 2nd rather. He will drop down the order, of course, and Kazuki Sims gaining quite a bit. He's up in 4th and he's looking for the race lead because Cilia did not gain a lot in this pit cycle. Here he comes up into 2nd place, getting past Francis Austin if he can hold on with the attack mode. Austin using all of the attack charge that he has, but he's not charging away. It's going to come down to the last of the late breakers, and with the inside line, Sims has that right. Up into 2nd position for the Japanese driver who wants to take that first race win. Ahmed Cilia, by the way, still yet to take a race win in his ChampCar World Series career. In fact, in his ERL career, yet to take a race win. His sister, Hachai Cilia, has taken that victory, of course. So they make their way up the hill. 1.2 seconds the margin between the race leaders. There's still 3 drivers yet to make their first stop, and even so, I think Ponte and Antonio still got another lap in them, but not another lap of pace, surely. Matthew Hart re-emerged in this race in 8th place. We go on board with the Scotsman, who's on the back of Dominic Hudson right now. So staying out was not the correct move, especially going down the straight. You just lose so much pace. Hart moves back up to 5th place. This man, of course, starting this race from the pole. And he's not doing a half-bad job with those hards. Don't hesitate when these guys come into the pits for their second stops, as we're onto the second half of this race. In comes Austin, Ponte, and almost certainly Matias Antonio, who had a brilliant race last time out. Remember, had a fantastic race win. All of the puzzle pieces coming into place as he comes in. Hard's going on for the KV Racing man. That'll take him to the end of the race, so maybe trying to do a similar thing on the strategy. But with no caution so far today, and we don't expect to see any all day, this race is going to be won on track. Most certainly. In the ERL, races are only often won on strategy if there's a lot of calamity. That's why it rhymes, strategy and calamity, you know? About a second separates your leaders. Sims struggling with grip as he comes through the hill. Matthew Hart, he's broken a second away from his teammate. Meanwhile, looking down the order, Chris Cornwell down in 12th place for that new look Nord Hyperdrive Advanced Racing team. Ica World getting a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with Daffy Circurera. Not a man that Hyperdrive really likes in that 19 car. As they head down the hill. And Ica really can't gain on Davy there, heading down the hill. We go on board with Chris Cornwell. Those hard tyres not doing him too many favours, and Sims has opted to come into the pits at the end of lap 6. What tyres is he going on to? It's another set of the Redwood softs. That can't get him to the end. At this stage, if you're coming in, you'd probably like to have a final set of tyres, because we only expect this race to be a 2-stopper. But a lot of the guys coming in right now want this to be a 3-stopper. Medium's going on for Danny Ortega. Comes into the race top 10 in points. For the first time in forever, Spaniard in the top 10 in points in the ERL. But it's still Ahmed Cilia who leads. And last time out we saw a new race winner. This time out, looks like we're going to get the exact same thing. It's great to see parity in the ERL. Really is. On board we go with Dominic Hudson in the number 31 car, rising up the hill. Trying to close up to the back of Timmy Nyla in that number 77. This could be very interesting as they rise up the hill. That's a very sharp drop that begins the final sector of this track. And Hudson is gaining. Looks like he's using some attack charge, but he doesn't make the pass. He's got another opportunity to try and go side by side, but he loses it as quickly as he was gaining. So now he's going to have to build it up into turn number 1 unless the Forsyth Racing driver comes down into the pits. Already a race winner in that number 77. Here comes Hudson using some attack charge before the attack mode activation point. Side by side they go, and Nyla opts to come in as the first caution of this race is called. That is for Akari Lopez down at turn 1. For the second race in a row, Akari from the race lead is out, and that is a power unit failure for the Power Motorsport man. There goes the engine. What a disappointing season that the entire Power Motorsport outfit is having. In the FG series, they've got to win with their female driver in Tam Mandalay, but not much else. In FG, that's all the pace for that green team is. ChampCar, they're struggling with a man who's taken a championship before. Yeah, he's well past his prime, but still, should still have some pace with him. Instead, he's struggling to even finish. Devin Butler, by the way, at the very back of the pack. And then you take a look at Formula E, and they're not doing too much better there either. On board we go with the Conquest number 78. As he moves up into 3rd place. This is an easy day. Easy race for the 78 crew. Rising up the hill there. And he's closing up to the back of Dominic Hudson. Meanwhile, Ica World trying to fend off Guillermo Perez. Currently running up in 7th place as the target Chip Ganassi man. And I'm sorry if I sound quite a bit low energy in this race. It hasn't been the most exciting of races, especially in comparison to last time out. Matthew Hart coming across the line to begin lap 9 of 12. His tyres at 49%, so theoretically he can do another 4 laps. Thankfully for him, there's only 3 left into the pits for Cornwell and Sims. 3rd stop of the race for the Japanese driver, 2nd for the Briton. It's a set of mediums going on for him. He can make it to the end almost, so can Sims. I just don't know why Sims 888 thought it was a good idea to have a 3-stopper instead of a 2. Because this man has had the pace all day long. And oh, coming out of the pits there. Contact for Kloskat coming out. Hit the side of Kazuki Sims there. They've both got a bit of damage to their side pods, but otherwise, very clumsy coming out of the pits there for the rookie. I mean, what do you expect? This is his first season in the Electric Racing League. So it's still Matthew Hart out in front, but he's only got roughly half a second to Ahmed Celia behind. The 78 on the back of the Forsyth car. And he certainly is gaining. And gaining fast. He's going alongside as they enter the final sector on lap 9. Ahmed Celia takes the lead of the Long Beach Grand Prix as his teammate is now at the very back of the pack in 23rd and last. A reminder, we've only lost so far in this race Akari Lopez. That's down to a power unit failure. Across the line then for Ahmed Celia to begin lap 10 of 12 as in comes Matthew Hart. Also into the pits, Guillermo Perez. This is going to be a very interesting run to the checkered flag here as Francis Austin punches in the fastest second sector. It's ERL ChampCar World Series Racing from California as Chris Cornwell has had an off and he's got front wing damage. 5-second time penalty as well for causing a collision. Is that a slow moving? Yes, it is a slow moving Kimi Nyla who comes into the pits. And for the man who scored his first win this season, he has to come in and serve a quick pit stop. Cornwell didn't come in on that lap. Don't think that was the right move. And that's really unfortunate for the 96. On a new set of mediums, that's going to be his day effectively over. For Sims, his day just beginning. Moves up into 5th place. We're on board with the number 11 Toyota Gazoo racing car. Only a handful of laps remain in this race, and Ahmed Celia has dominated the vast majority of it. Heads down the hill in the number 78. He's at 36% tire wear, so we still expect him to make another stop. I think if anyone's your favorite to win, it's going to be between Matthew Hart and Jonathan Sims, because those are the two guys with tires that can make it to the end. Up into 3rd place for the Scotsman, and heading down the main straight for Ahmed Celia. And he's staying out to begin the penultimate lap. Is that the right call for the man who has dominated not just the vast majority of this race, make it the entirety of this race? And for Chris Cornwell, who didn't get the best qualifying, it's going to be a non-score for the man who came into this race 1 point off of the championship lead. Christian Bentley looking to extend his title lead, his teammate looking for a podium at the very least, because his season so far has not been too great. If I'm in Chris Cornwell's shoes right now, I'd be coming into the pits, and he opts to stay out. Not too sure if that's the right move, but it's his move nonetheless. 5% for Dominic Hudson, 19 for Ahmed Celia. My goodness. This could be quite the final handful of laps. Vansalau's done 4 laps on the same set of mediums. And I think Hart is gaining. Matthew Hart is closing up to the back of Ahmed Celia, who's being told to lift and coast to make it to the end of this race. Vita Alves, who's running a career best race, up in 3rd place. He's struggling with his tires as well. Dominic Hudson in 4th, hits 1%, and he's hit 0. 7 laps on the same set of hard compound tires. And it comes undone. Coming out of that corner, it's a full car puncture. Going up the hill, let Sims go by. Perez coming up right behind him. These two already had a bit of contact in practice. Thankfully, this time, they keep it clean. Coming up the hill now on board with Francis Austin. He's trying to move up. I think someone else struggling with tires. And oh, big shunt! Big shunt! Ronnie Franke getting a time penalty there as Chris Cornwell struggles to make his way up the hill. Ahmed Celia coming to the line to begin the final lap has hit 0. Going down the main straight. It's a full car puncture for the race leader. Vita Alves hits 3% as Hudson drops down the order. And for Ahmed Celia, the man who from 2nd on the grid has dominated the vast majority of this race. It is over. Hart closing up to the back of him now. Alves getting a full car puncture heading down the main straight. Perez moves up into 4th place. You can see on the mini-map, Matthew Hart closing up to get his 2nd career race win in this series, and he's got the lead. Matthew Hart to the race lead on lap 12. Cilius just trying to come to the end of this race. Meanwhile, big hit for Kimi Nyla. Looks like he's gone into the back of someone there, and another yellow in the opening sector. Who is that for? I can't see it. I cannot see it, but we do go green again, so it wasn't consequential. Bentley with a full car puncture as well. That's your championship leader, Christian Bentley. He's got tyre issues as well on this final lap. His former teammate coming up to greet him and get past him. Almost contact with Lam Fong there. That's half the field almost certainly struggling with their tyres on this final lap. What has happened to these Firestones here in Long Beach? In any case, Matthew Hart has weathered the storm. He's going to get a 2nd win of his career. He won his 1st race in Germany last season. He's arrived to California to show him how it's done in Long Beach. It's the Scotsman who swims the best. Meanwhile, we've got yellows in Sector 2. We'll take a look at that after. Matthew Hart, your Long Beach Grand Prix race winner. We got yellows down in Sector 2. That's for Hart's teammate Kimi Nyla. More yellows as well. Hit by Christian Bentley. The tires blowing up. The worst possible opportunity. Matías Antonio moving up in the world as well. Oh! Bit of a punt there for Antonio Ponte. He's got damage. And this is going to be a very scruffy run to the checker, isn't it? Ortega's... Oh! That's Iker for the 2nd race in a row out. My, oh my. Hey, whose tires look good? I don't know. Ralf Frank is going to get some points on the board. The 2 championship leaders coming into this race are going to score 0, by the way, guys. I think the championship order could have severely been shaken up. Zenzo might get points today. Will he get points? What's that gap? It's 4 seconds. That is going to be 1st points of his career. With a 10th place. Wow. Oh my god, look at this fight for 20th! No way, they're going side by side to the line! No, seriously though, this is some very slow stuff. Oh my goodness, this could actually just be a drag race. But he's not gaining. Here's your podium after the tyres absolutely blew up on that final lap. Matthew Hart taking victory from Guillermo Perez and, yes, Kazuki Sims Takahana. Is that Perez? Yeah. Thought it was Hudson for a second. Sorry guys, my memory ain't doing too good. The Scottish driver taking his 2nd career ERL race win. Couldn't do anything in the A1GP, but in ChampCar, he's at least got 1 win in the past 2 seasons apiece. As for the rest of your finishes, 4th place with Matías Antonio after victory last time out. Francis Austin 5th from Ray Shen and Cilia. Then it's Ponte, Franca, and Zenzo. The non-scorer is Ortega from Circular and Animates. Then it's Chris Cornwell, Vita Alves, Kimi Nyla, Lam Fong, Christian Bentley, Mario Kloska, Dominic Hudson, Dominic Vansalal, and Devin Butler, with the non-finishers being Iker Wild and Akari Lopez. Matías Antonio is now your points leader with a tie for 2nd between Christian Bentley and Matthew Hart. Chris Cornwell 4th from Guillermo Perez and Dominic Hudson. Then it's Kimi Nyla, Danny Ortega, Lam Fong, and Ahmed Cilia. Brondon Animates is 11th from Francis Austin and Kazuki Sims. Then it's a 3-way tie for 14th between Lopez, Shen, and Iker World. Danny Circular 17th from Matteo Kloske. Antonio Ponte is 19th from Ray Franca. Zenzo, Devin Butler, Dominic Vansalao, and Vita Alves. In the Constructors' Championship, heading into the 6th round of the Championship, Forsyth Racing taking the lead from Target Chip Ganassi and Sims AAA North Hyperdrive are 4th from Conquest Racing and KV Racing Technologies. Andretti Autosport are 7th from Team Penske, Dragon Racing, Dale Coin Racing, Power Motorsport, and Trackhouse Racing. Next time out, there's going to be no, and I do mean 0, penalties being awarded. Somehow, Matthias Antonio, who hasn't scored in 2 races, leads the championship. That's just the carnage of the ChampCar World Series. Formula E will be up next on Sparkplug Motorsport. It'll be quite a while after this, actually, so we will see you guys later when the ERL returns.